Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Anomaly 2. Now, this is the sequel to Anomaly Warzone Earth, which was, similar to Sanctum 2, a pseudo-tower defense game. Tower defense with a twist, if you will, that came out in winter or spring 2011. Now, when I played the original Anomaly Warzone Earth, it was during, like, a Steam sale, and I didn't really like it at all. I did a video on it, I believe, and if I remember correctly, I gave it kind of like an review. Either I was wrong then, or something has changed drastically. I haven't played Anomaly 1 in a long time, because I really actually have had Anomaly 2 resonate with me. I actually like this game a lot more than I thought I would. When I played it at PAX, I went in being skeptical because I didn't like the original all that much. And we know I played the multiplayer game with Nick. We're not going to cover multiplayer in this video, but there might be a standalone multiplayer video that comes out later. And I liked it a lot, and now that I'm playing the single player, I like it a lot more than I thought I would as well. But let's jump into an early mission here to explain what's going on. Now, this is not your traditional tower defense game by any stretch of the imagination. It might be best to, maybe start with mission 5 here, or maybe mission 4, because the first 4 missions are like Prelude, VR, and then this is like the first real mission. So sure, let's go with Fish in a Barrel, and we'll start this up. First thing I want to say is that I really feel like from a presentation standpoint, this game nails it. There's a lot of voice acting. The voice acting is not fabulous, but it's pretty good for the most part. It's certainly not as bad as something like Xenoclash 2. And from a visual standpoint, it's got a really nice kind of like dynamic, futuristic, but dystopian look to it. And there's a lot of bloom, and I like that. I know that a lot of people get cynical about that kind of J.J. Abrams bloom and lens flare and stuff like that. Whatever, man, I still think it looks slick. Maybe I'm stuck back in 2009, but so, to go over the basic premise of the story right now, because I'm going to be talking over the voice acting for now, but there will be perhaps a cutscene that I'll show later. Maybe not, but, it's not super important. Basically, humanity has gotten in a war with these aliens, and what we have to do, these aliens basically produce these towers, and we have to accomplish an objective by pushing our units through the path on the way to the tower. So it's a reverse tower defense game, if you will. I'm just going to pause the game here for a second to explain what's going on. So we're going to start with a squad here of some artillery units, and I wonder if I can actually just go into the... I can, okay. So I can go into the tactical viewpoint here. It's a reverse tower defense game is the easiest way to put it, at least in the single-player mode. So rather than building the towers, we're destroying the towers and building the units, almost like, one half of gratuitous tank battles, if you will. Again, visually, I really like the fact that, it kind of looks like Frozen Synapse in this mode. So let's talk about our objective. This is a very simple mission because it is one of the first missions where the training wheels are off. So we start with these 2 artillery units. We're going to try to destroy these towers, which will give us some resources, and then try to get to this first beacon here. Now, what we can do is we can actually change our paths. So we can see these like triangles down here that look like the Unity symbol. These are resources. So we could either, there's 2 ways that we could do this. We can go like, down here with the resources and hopefully get some extra money, which we can use to upgrade our squad or buy new squad members or vehicles. Or, we could like skip around it by adjusting this like so, and then we won't get any resources and we'll fight these 2 towers. Or, if we wanted to, we could just put them in an infinite loop so we can do both. But I think the smartest idea is the one that was already pre-planned. Now, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. Let's just start very simplistically with the, these artillery that we have here. This might be a little bit more hand-holdy than I originally anticipated, and they might be going through some tutorial stuff. Alright, so they're just introducing the kind of mechanics of this unit that we have right here, which is artillery. Now, unfortunately, these artillery can only shoot straight ahead, but that introduces kind of another good segue into an interesting part of Anomaly 2, which is that we can morph units, and every unit has kind of 2 discrete or distinct types or models that each have their own strengths. So, this model right now can only shoot straight ahead, and it does a lot of damage and has a huge range, but unfortunately, if the enemies are to the side of it, it has a significant problem. And they're going to go through some kind of briefing here with this unit right here. I played about an hour and a half of Anomaly 2, and, the missions are not long, but they're not short either. They're shorter than Sanctum 2, I would say, at least in my experience so far. Usually around, 10 to 20 minutes each, as opposed to 20 to 30 minutes each, which makes a difference. I like that this game moves a little bit quicker, and this game, this video might go up before Sanctum 2, so it might not make any sense. But between the 2 of them, it's an unavoidable comparison. I feel like this game has a much better story, and it's better articulated than Sanctum 2's is. Overall, not to spoil it, I enjoy this more than Sanctum 2, even though I think if I'd played Sanctum 1, I probably would have enjoyed Sanctum 1 more than Anomaly 1. It's a very weird situation that I did not expect to fall into, but I enjoy this game substantially more than I thought I would. I would give this a thumbs up for sure. I think they've done a really good job. I wonder if I can skip through the cutscenes here. Again, I apologize for talking over the dialogue here. Now, I should mention what I've just done here is As the squad leader here, I'm not actually controlling a camera, I'm actually controlling a dude. I wonder if I can warp these guys yet, or morph these guys. Sorry, I can't. It's okay. We'll talk about that in a second. But as our squad leader here, I have a number of abilities that I can use. For example, if I press 1, I can put down this repair beacon, which will repair units that walk through it. I can also, we won't see it for a second here because I don't want to waste it, but I have this decoy ability, and I can use that, and that will cause the computer turrets to auto-target that decoy, and until that decoy is destroyed, our units should be safe from enemy fire, which is awesome. So let's just go back into our tactical viewpoint here. I've left behind, as you kill enemies, they will drop these abilities, or uses of these abilities, and I kind of botched it here, because I missed some, but that's okay, because it's not really that necessary right now, and on this mission I should do okay regardless. So I'm just charting our course through these, I forget the name of the resource, it starts with a C and it's really long, but yeah, as we collect this money, if you will, which is maybe what is the best way to call it, or scrap, if you will, we can use that to upgrade our turrets, or upgrade our units here, or buy new ones. So this is the morphing ability I'm just showing you right here. This is another, yes, I understand Colonel Ellen Bolt's, everything about the sledgehammers, there we go. And again, I appreciate that the game allows you to skip through the dialogue if you've already seen it before, because they do give you a bonus for being quick. And I'm going to skip over this again, but basically, by morphing these guys, they've not become artillery anymore, or they've ceased to be artillery. Now they have become like rocket barrages that can shoot enemies to all sides of them, and they do so discreetly, or well, not discreetly because it's, you know, rockets, but they do so in discrete bursts, as opposed to like a sustained rate of fire, which is in sharp contrast to this kind of all-terrain vehicle that we have here, which is going to shoot in a kind of sustained stream, if you will. And the cool thing about it is it's actually kind of interesting mechanically. I'm going to put a decoy over here so that big turret hopefully turns. Oh, I've botched it, I think. Big turret, shoot at the decoy. Oh my god, I've messed this up so bad. This might not, yeah, this is going to lead to some of our units actually dying, so I'm going to revert to the last checkpoint here. That was a total botch on my part. I guess I suppose I could have charted a course around them. Anyway, I'm just skipping over this here. I could have charted a course around them, but I wanted to use the decoy there instead, so I messed that up something fierce. Another good thing about Anomaly 2 is that you actually can speed things up. So just by holding the shift key, you can speed up time. Oh, this guy's not in a great spot either. But you can speed up time, and by speeding up time, you create a situation where you can finish the level more quickly, and you get perks for doing that. We probably should have morphed our ATV here. I'm just going to call it an ATV, even though it's probably not technically an ATV, in order to turn it into like a flamethrower, but that's not necessary. So again, we're going to have this area up here. They're going to tell me to morph these. I'm going to do so, and they're going to become a little bit more badass, and then we'll move onwards here. Eventually, it'll get a little bit more, or a little bit less hand-holdy, but this game has been tough so far. Partly because I suck at tower defenses, but also partly because, you know, things just get fairly difficult, actually. Alright, so we're going to change our route to move down the highway, which was something that I should have looked at earlier. So let's think about this. We don't want to go through those enemies anymore. Instead, we can just go around. And this is something that actually plays a fairly major part. So we're going to skip over those resources and maybe chart our course this way. I wouldn't never say that this is like a stealth game by any stretch of the imagination, but there are almost stealth elements. I'm just going to pop a decoy in there so you can see what that does. It's going to get destroyed really quickly, but at least that will distract them long enough for me to probably not take a substantial amount of damage in here. But yeah, there's alternate ways that you can deal with every single level. You can choose to, or most levels at least, you can choose to take enemies on head-on, and this is going to be a high risk, high reward, because it's obviously going to give you, you know, more resources this way and more drops, as you can see. Or you can choose to kind of reroute yourself around enemies, and that's going to make things a little bit easier for you. What I wanted to mention earlier about this kind of, I believe this is called our, let me just enter my squad here so I can get the right name. The Assault Hound. So this is a Hound, and the other one is called the Hammer. But the cool thing about this Hound unit is that you can see this circle like charging up here. Basically, it has to warm up its gun, so the longer it fires, the stronger it actually becomes. And you kind of want to morph it into this variant on itself when there's a lot of enemies around. So you want to make sure that if this one's out, it's because there's a lot of enemies around and it won't have to stop firing. So we're going to have to rechart our course here, because obviously this is not looking super good. So let's just enter our tactical menu here. And it's neat that you always like kind of adjust your paths based on the situation that you have to deal with. So it's cool. It's never just a situation like in most tower defense games where you kind of just chart your course and then, you know, just hold down the shift key or the fast forward key and make it happen. Instead, it's very much about kind of dynamically adjusting your path. So it's the rare tower defense game that keeps me fairly consistently engaged. 2013 has been, you know, it started as a kind of a slow year for tower defense games, but especially over the past few months, things have gotten, goddamn ubiquitous with respect to these games. And they've been fairly good in sharp contrast to 2012. Did I say 2013 before? I hope I said 2013 before. But 2013 was a lot of, kind of iOS tower defense ports, not necessarily bad, but conventional. And, there's been a lot of kind of interesting turns on the genre so far this year, which is really, I don't know, it's neat. I don't dislike tower defense as a genre, I just dislike kind of old and tired tower defense games. And Anomaly 2 is probably the freshest I've played in a long time. Now, I should mention here, we have 190 scrap, you can't really see it, but I can use these to upgrade our units. So why don't we upgrade our Assault Hound? And what I really like is that you can actually see how this will affect it. So, if we upgrade this one, it upgrades its attack. If we upgrade our hammer, it upgrades its attack and its armor a little bit. But I'm going to upgrade our Assault Hound here. You can also adjust your formation if you want to. So we could just put this guy in the middle and they'll just switch around on the fly like that. Probably a little bit unrealistic, but at the same time, it's kind of necessary from a tactical level, especially when you get units that you have to keep alive. There are escort missions. Yes, they are annoying, as, escort missions often are. But this becomes a valuable, if not, indispensable tactic. So we've reached our next waypoint here by being smart, not necessarily by being strong, because we have adjusted our path here. Again, this is a mission that is not super difficult, but we're going to adjust our path again to get around these big dudes, and we probably want to go this way, if I had to guess. It's neat that it kind of has these well, it's not asymmetrical, but that's a buzzword, so I'm going to use it. But these areas where, you kind of want to not necessarily be in the active mode. Maybe you want to hang out and be in the tactical mode to adjust your path. It's not just a game where you brute force your way through things, maybe the way that I'm trying to describe that in a roundabout way. So that was me using a decoy positively. And the other thing that adds a lot of variety to this game is the fact that, of course, you have to use your squad abilities a lot. Right now we only have repair and decoy. In multiplayer, there's another two that I've used. I've actually used the EMP in single player as well, but there's another EMP which basically disables enemies, and the cool thing is that the enemies stay disabled until they are actually shot, which creates, again, an interesting kind of dynamic. And an aim ability, which I don't totally know. I'll talk a little bit more about the multiplayer later, because I don't want to go into it right now in the middle of this mission. Okay, we got an issue here. Is this guy going to be able to hit us? I hope not, because we've actually gotten past the point where I can adjust their paths, so we're just going to kind of maybe drop this decoy back here and cause these guys to turn around, and this might allow us to destroy the behemoth here. I mean, if not, we have a ton of decoys that we can use, so we should be okay. Oh, I should run in here because this guy's about to die. Don't do it! Oh, he died! Oh, what an idiot. Okay. I'm going to drop another decoy here and another one in here. That was me mismanaging things on a squad-based standpoint. It's not an RTS. Again, I would never go so far as to say this is an RTS, but it does have some kind of real-time managing elements, which you don't always see in other tower defense games. Sometimes you do, but there are times when you don't as well. This behemoth is such a pain in the dick. Again, it's another thing, I'm trying to manage this while I play at the same time. Luckily, again, these levels are early, and you kind of have some leeway with respect to sucking, which is good, because I'm sucking pretty badly right now. We've reached our next waypoint. I just want to take a look at this. We have to activate these Devastators. So I think what we have to do, and she's going to tell us this in a second, is we have to wipe out all of the turrets prior to the Devastators. Now we have a lot of resources again, so I should just summon some more units. Why don't we summon another hammer here? They have low armor, which is the problem. Let's summon another 2 hammers. That seems like a smart idea. And then as these drop down here, we'll just morph them. Actually, we won't morph them because it's a smart idea to keep our artillery in their artillery mode and then just plot like a straight ahead course so that they can shoot enemies from far away, further away than the enemies can shoot them. So again, I'm just, skipping through the dialogue here. I've charted a course and we can get started again. Very kind of seamless switching between one and the other. I'm very interested to see what the critical reaction to this is. I know people always get furious when I talk about like what other critics think in my videos, but I know I was talking with Wrecker about this before I actually played the game, and he mentioned that he was not necessarily the biggest fan of the multiplayer in Anomaly 2, so I'm interested to see what he thinks about the single player, and if I'm kind of, not to make a joke, but if I'm an anomaly here in liking this game as much as I do, because I don't know, I feel like this is a vast improvement over the original, but I kind of don't have any way to articulate why I feel that is. I know there's probably a lot of people out there that have played Anomaly, the original, because it always goes on sale in Steam sales for like $250, and it was part of the Christmas sale in 2011, which means that a lot of people bought it so that they could get those lumps of coal, which would possibly give them a better chance to win every single game on Steam. In terms of, anyway, the whole end point to that is just that I'm very interested to see how this game kind of shakes out from a critical standpoint. it's the most fun I've had with a pseudo tower defense game so far this year. I like Go Home Dinosaurs a lot as well. And Super Sanctum TV, actually. Why can't I get through here? Okay, we're fine, we're fine. Might want to toss a decoy down here just to keep these guys alive a little bit longer. I'm actually going to enter our tactical map. Good, I haven't left any turrets alive that should not be left alive. Except for these guys, apparently. So I'll morph these dudes now so that they can hopefully shoot backwards a little bit. Those behemoths do a ton of damage. By the way, this is like Sanctum, actually. If we die, we don't actually fail the mission. We just, you know, respawn in a little bit. So I should reroute these guys to come through here and save us a little bit of time, because I need to kill these 2 turrets that I left alive by being a ding-dong. Now, every time you finish a mission, you can see, like, I have a score modifier, I have a combo up there, I have points, and I have a time. The better we do from speed, the better we do for efficiency, and I think the better we do for, like, damage or, like, not losing any units, the more perks we get over the course of the entire game. Which I believe ties into some kind of upgrade system, or maybe just a leaderboard position. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. So now I have disabled all of the turrets. And we will actually finish the mission here, and we'll get kind of a cool ending cutscene here. Well, not cutscene, but moment here. So I'll just let them finish it out, and you can have the drama here.
The road is clear. Convoy moving out. Good work, Lynx.
Alright, so again, you know, this is not the best looking game I've ever seen, but I think for an isometric action game, or strategy game, it looks really sharp, actually. So yeah, again, we get awards for efficiency, we get awards for ruthlessness. I wonder if that's like the number of towers that you kill, probably. And swiftness, which is just the overall speed. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think if you hold down the shift key and to speed up time, the clock still ticks in real time, which is actually an interesting way of doing things if that's the case. Why don't let's back out for a second, and I'll talk a little bit about the multiplayer mode, and then we'll do one last mission to finish it off. Again, I want to mention that I think the presentation, the way they present the story is very well done. It's not just kind of like told through like flavor text during loading screens. There is some of that as well, but there's also a lot of like voice acting between the characters and exposition as you play. You know, it's not Citizen Kane. It works really well though. So in the multiplayer mode, it's a little different. I could probably play a tutorial level, but I don't know if that would bring much value. There's not going to be anybody online here, but I'll like find an opponent and just pick a level or something here, and maybe we'll be able to make something happen. Maybe not. Okay, so basically the way it works, it's asymmetrical. One person plays as the defensive person, so basically traditional tower defense, and one person plays as Anomaly 2 style offense, where they spawn squad vehicles and they want to kill enemy towers. And basically it's a points battle. So, you know, every time the squad kills an enemy's valuable buildings, they get a lot of points, or, you know, valuable towers or anything like that, they get a lot of points. And then the defensive player can build harvesters, which generate points, and you know, they also get a lot of points for killing squad vehicles. So basically, this is a roundabout way of explaining it. If you're the squad, you destroy enemy harvesters and generators, and you get a ton of points and win. If you're the squad, you destroy enemy structures, and then you get points and win. If you're the towers, you destroy enemy vehicles and generate points and win. Hopefully that explains it pretty well. I played a couple of games with Green. I played one with Nick. I think it works well. We might not be able to show it off here because nobody else is playing this game right now since it's pre-release. But again, there might be a standalone Anomaly 2 video later. It's the kind of thing where it's definitely not just a tacked-on multiplayer mode. It is kind of a unique and valuable experience, like an experience that adds value to the game. But again, there has to be a community there, and I can't guarantee 100% that would happen. So we did fish in a barrel. Let's move on to mission 5, because mission 7 has been kicking my ass. Oh, did I accidentally pick mission 6 here? Let's escape. No, that was mission 5. Okay. So we'll take this. It shouldn't take too long. By now you probably have a pretty basic idea, or, you know, maybe even a pretty comprehensive idea of what the heck's going on in Anomaly 2 here. Or maybe not, because I keep talking over people, but that's why I wanted to give you guys that moment to get the cutscene. And I'm going to skip over the cutscenes now because I kind of feel like they don't matter all that much. So let me just drop back into my tactical view. I cannot.
We got 2 blasters within range. Let's take them out and get our hands on those new alien toys.
I've actually forgotten how this is going to start here, but we'll see. Again, this is kind of a good way to articulate or to really demonstrate how this vehicle scales with its rate of fire. Alright, so what they're doing is they're introducing this awful alien turret where basically what happens is as you shoot it, it grows and kind of builds up that meter, and if that meter goes full, it becomes a very, very strong enemy turret that we should be able to kill if we use a lot of our squad powers, but at the same time, is going to be a real pain in the ass about it. So yes, it will become now this like Storm Reaper or whatever it's called that is going to... is it called a Storm Reaper? I can't remember. Anyway, we should be able to kill it fairly easily, again, with use of our squad powers. And this is a really interesting kind of element to this game, and I don't know if I've ever seen it in a tower defense game before, is the ability to constantly like buff your squad as you're moving along. Alright, so yeah, I'm hoping to kind of skip past this dialogue, because again, you know, I can't stress enough that we're still kind of in the early / tutorial section of the game. We should be getting some units at some points. Maybe they will be dropping us a hammer unit so I could use some rockets or something. Oh, buy a hammer unit and sell your hammer unit. Okay, I can do that. So we'll open up our squad menu. We will buy a hammer unit and sell our hound unit. And then we will turn our hammer units. I guess we don't have to yet. But I will, once it gets too close, I will turn it into the rocket variety. There we go. You can see that it couldn't attack anymore. So this, you know, it's again kind of a rock paper scissors kind of style where I almost always say rock paper shotgun by accident. I guess that's what you get when you're a fan of the site. But in any case, there's a rock paper scissors style where some turrets are good against, or some vehicles are good against certain turrets, and some are good against other certain turrets. Some turrets are good against certain vehicles. Like for example, this turret that we have right here, or sorry, this vehicle that we have right here. Apologies for that confusion. Is really bad against units that do like sustained fire because its armor is so low and its HP. One second, I think I can build my own squad now. So let's buy a couple more hammers. I can't. We'll buy a hound as well. So we have 2 hammers and a hound. And we might, no, we can't upgrade anything. Alright, so let's chart our course here. We need to get to these recon points. Now the problem is, this is going to be an issue. These like blue areas have really, really difficult enemies in them, I believe. I believe that's what they're trying to articulate here. So we need to find a way around them, but there is not really a way around them. So maybe we'll just try going through this way, and that seems fairly solid to me. Maybe we gotta go up here, because it seems like there's an objective or something here. And then we'll just hold shift to speed things up here. Again, watch it, 1, Mississippi. 2, I do think the clock still moves in real time, so it's weird that the game rewards you for being faster, not just in a traditional sense of like, you know, plotting the best course and being efficient, but also, you know, if you want to play with the time sped up, which gives you less time to make decisions, you're rewarded for that as well. It's a unique style. I'm morphing our hound here. It'll become like a flamethrower unit. These turrets that I'm destroying right now are signal jammers. I don't know if it actually benefits us to destroy them right now, but they don't do any damage to us, so it's a fairly easy course to chart, I would say. Now, hopefully the problem with having the hound like I do is that these flamethrowers are going to do consistent damage, which is really going to build up this Storm Behemoth, or again, I forgot his name, maybe Storm Reaper or something like that. Oh, I should really drop a decoy there, otherwise I was about to lose my unit. It's hard to manage this all at the same time, you know, you've got a lot of things on the go. At any given time, so I'll just drop a decoy there and hopefully that'll help out. I should really make sure that I'm picking up all of these available squad powers that I can, because otherwise I'm really going to find myself in a terrible position. These flamethrowers do damage over time as well. I said, so we'll drop a decoy there, and then we'll walk through here. But yeah, you've got to really be conscious of the way your squad is set up, and also their orientation. Because you don't want this hound at the front, because he's just going to cause this guy to blossom into a beautiful, beautiful butterfly. If you have him at the back, then he'll be okay, and he'll be dead, or the asshole will be dead, the alien will be dead before things get truly rough. I didn't realize that this was a dead end, but at the very least, this is going to allow us to pick up a sweet number of resources, and this is the kind of trade-off in the game. You know, if you go to difficult areas, what we want to do here actually is change this like so. I don't want to circle around, but I guess I don't have a choice at this point. Yeah, well, we'll get these resources, and these resources are going to allow us to make our turrets a lot stronger. Turrets, vehicles, hopefully you just know what I mean by now. So I'm going to upgrade a couple of these. I could have bought more, but, you know, that's what I'm trying to learn in these tower defense games, is it's not always the best idea to just buy new squad vehicles, it might be the best, or might be in your best interest to simply upgrade the existing ones that you have.
It's working just as I predicted. Communication channels are slowly... Lieutenant, keep this...
Alright, so I'm gonna... Oh, God, no! No, no! I lost one because I'm a fool, basically. I really should have just tossed down a repair or a decoy a lot earlier than I did. This is actually gonna make things pretty tough because now I have few resources and a lot of resistance. Oh, don't cause him to... Oh, that was very close to us falling into a difficult situation there. I guess you want... Oh, we have to... These are objectives, these blue things. So I guess we have to come down here and destroy this one, then maybe come back up this way and destroy this one like so, and then just fall back. Okay. So we should be good here as we come through here. I really need to buy another hound as early as possible, because otherwise we're going to accidentally cause these things to grow into some... Oh, God, shoot him! Are you kidding me? There we go. He finally succumbed to the fire, but for a while, that was a really... scary moment. I want to use the decoy, but I don't want to use it just yet. Kind of wanted to wait until enemies were in range. Now, is there a repair function? Oh, it's another decoy, because I'm gonna lose this unit if I don't repair it soon. But I don't really have an option. Oh man, I'm getting my ass kicked. This is not going well. I can, on the other hand, buy some extra units here, which we should do. So we'll buy another hammer and then morph it into the rockets. But yeah, I have no repair ability, so we're actually going to die on this mission, which is a terrible way to end it. But, you know, that is how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Like I said, this game's not super easy. But it does, you know, it doesn't punish you substantially for death. Reverting to the last checkpoint is usually not too far away, which is excellent. Now, I'm going to go back to the main menu here. I think we've seen as much as we have to see of Anomaly 2 to give you guys kind of an honest impression of what the game's about. What I will say is, you know, this should be up on the release day of Anomaly 2. If you take the time to pre-order it before it releases, you actually get a second copy that you can give to a friend, so maybe you can jumpstart your multiplayer career. Again, take everything I say about multiplayer in these pre-release games with a grain of salt. It's totally possible that no community is going to spring up, and as such, you know, this multiplayer mode might as well be grayed out. I hope that's not the case, because it seems kind of interesting. But maybe if you're the kind of person that's worried about that, you know, take some time after release to see if a community kind of blossoms. But in any case, I'm a big fan of Anomaly 2. I didn't expect to be. It's not the best game I've ever played, but it is one of the most interesting tower defense games that I've ever played, and I have played a lot, especially recently. So Anomaly 2 is available for 15 bucks on Steam. I think it's worth it for the story mode alone, which I've invested at least 2 hours in so far. But, you know, as always, your mileage may vary with tower defense games. I know these are very much love it or hate it kind of things, but pleasantly surprised, basically. As always, there will be a link in the video description to pick it up on Steam if you are interested. But in any case, thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.